Hello, it's Leon here, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate the basics of using Sidebar for Tiny Theme and how you can configure it to suit your website. Now, we're on the site of the plugin itself, and you would notice that the sidebar here looks quite a bit different than what it looks like out of the box. What I'm hoping to show you is how you can go from a basic Micro.blog site that's got Tiny Theme installed to one with a sidebar that looks like this. So let's begin. So I'll begin in the Micro.blog designer. So what I have here is a test blog that has Tiny Theme installed. And as you can see, the sidebar hasn't been installed yet. So the first thing I'll do is show you how to install the sidebar itself. So if you click on plugins, now one thing to note is that you'll need Tiny Theme version 2.7.4 or later for the version of Sidebar for Tiny Theme that's currently published, which is version 1.1.1. So I've got that installed there. So what I'm going to do is click Find Plugin and click Sidebar for Tiny Theme. And if you give it a moment, it should install the plugin to your site. Okay, so the plugin has been installed, and by default, the sidebar will show your recommendations blog roll. So we haven't got any recommendations on the site yet, so let's configure that now. This basically uses the recommendations feature of Micro.blog. So if we go into the design section and click Edit Recommendations, we can start adding some recommendations. So let me add Anton Rees, which is at www.anton.org. Okay, I'll add one more recommendation. And fed.com. And once those changes have been published, they will show up as your recommendations in the sidebar. And you can move them around and it would be reflected as in the sidebar as well. So this is the experience you get out of the box. But let's say you want to configure the sidebar to your own needs. The way to do that is to create a custom theme for your site. So let's do that now. If you go to the Micro.blog designer, so if you click design, you notice that there's no custom theme for the site. So to create one, click edit themes, click new theme, give your theme a name. So I'll give it a name called test theme. And what we'll need to do is go back to design and choose test theme as the custom theme for the site. Make sure you click update blog settings. And if you were to refresh the page, nothing really has changed, but now we've got the ability to add templates. And the way that Sidebar for Tiny Theme works is that you have to add a new template, which acts a bit like a micro hook that will be used to get the contents of the sidebar. So let's do that now. The way to do that is to click Edit Themes, select your theme, and click New Templates, and give it the name of the micro hook, which is layouts.partials, sorry, not /partials/sidebar.html. And if I had a wider monitor, I can demonstrate a version of this with the sidebar showing up in the preview. Given where we are, I'll just have to switch between tabs. So click Update Template to create the new template. And what you'll notice is that the sidebar actually disappears from the page. It is still there. So you notice that the content of the page is offset on the right side. What that basically is the sidebar taking the contents of this template here and given that it's nothing, basically nothing will show up. So let's add some content. Now, the Sidebar plugin does have a very simple design system, which is used for styling the sidebar that comes out of the box. Basically, the idea is that you add sidebar items, and they are given a bit of space and given a rule between each one. You don't have to use this, of course. You can configure it to whatever makes sense for your site, but we'll use the design system for this example. So let's say we want to add the description of the site. So here we'll start with adding a div element with the class sidebar item, and we'll open up a paragraph and we'll say this is an example of what the site description will look like. And it could be any HTML at all. If you were to click Update Templates and view the site, so you'll notice that the item appears at the top of the sidebar. So let's add another item. So do div class, give it the name sidebar item. Sorry. This is another item with a href. Oops. A link. So click an update template here. So one thing to note is that on small screens, the sidebar will actually be hidden away. So it's probably not a good idea to put anything in the sidebar that you'll need your visitors to know. Okay, that's been updated. So let's go to the page. And there's our second item. So now we've got a rule, and of course we've got the link here. Now let's say you want a bunch of links. So what you can do is build this in HTML. And the way to do this is to put them in a list. So let's add that, sidebar item. And let's say we want to add sections of the site. So let's start with photos. Let's add the about section as well. Yep. Let's update the template. And you'll notice that it's using the design system, the styling that comes with the design system to make it make the list. So remove the bullets and make the links suitable for a sidebar. Let's even add a header to this, and to do that, just add a header element, and we'll give it the name sections. I can type it out. Okay, and that should put a nice sections header. And that looks pretty close to what we've got on the sidebar for Tiny Theme here with a collection of links. But notice that we also got the recommendations here. So we've actually removed it when we've configured the micro hook itself, but we can add it back. So let's put it, let's replace this sidebar item with the list of recommendations. Now, the Sidebar for Tiny Theme plugin comes with a bunch of pre-canned items that you can use in your sidebar. and you can find them by going to the customizations page and navigating to the bottom. And notice that one of them is the recommendations blog role, and the way to install it in your sidebar is just to add a partial that references the template itself. So if you're doing this, you don't have to include the sidebar item div class. They come with that already. So let's add that into our sidebar. Okay, so that's been updated. Let's take a look. And now we've got our recommendations back. So that's looking pretty close to what we're hoping to achieve. As more elements get added to the plugin, they can be added to the sidebar in a similar way to the recommendations item using the template partial. So I hope this video gives you a good demonstration of how you can tailor sidebar for Tiny Theme for your site. Let me know if there are any further questions. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.